Really? So yeah, um, I'm really bored because see, it's 2 o'clock right now. Hey, El Schmighead, don't update to 4.1.4.2 if you're on iOS. Otherwise, your phone won't charge. Well, I don't have to worry about iOS because this is an iPad. It's not a phone. It's good to know, though, El Schmighead. I appreciate that. Um, okay, where did that go? God, I hate Apple. I just hate Apple. You tap something and it goes away, and how do I get it back? Okay. So yeah, I've been uploading or downloading this firmware now for an hour and a half. I've got my iPad going, Samsung S9 going, and waiting in the wings is my Triple Tech. This one's going to be a pain in the butt because you have to download it from Triple Tech's website. It takes longer. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing back on my iOS. Let's see, go to today. If this thing stopped, I'm going to be pissed. I am going to be so pissed. DJI Fly. It's the same for iPad, only Android is not affected. Okay, so your phone won't charge, which means this won't charge, I guess you're saying, which that's fine. You know, I'll tell you what, El Schmighead, it's been a week since I've flown. I flew the DJI Air 2S at night over the water, way out over the water, like about 200 or 300 meters out over the water. And this iPad froze up. When I say froze up, it the picture froze, the telemetry froze, everything froze. Never had that happen before. Then again, that's why I bought this Triple Tech, because the iPad a year ago did the same thing. And I said, I better get a backup. So the Triple Tech was my backup. But at night, you can't use the Triple Tech. It is so bright, it will blind you. You will lose your night vision. So I was using my iPad. I had to switch to my S9. That worked. Allow a controller to charge the phone. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. But my main issue right now is getting back to seeing if this thing was, because it was downloading the app. It still should be somewhere. Anybody else that hates Apple, let me know. My wife has a iPad mini and a iPhone 9. And every time she has a problem with them, I'm like, call someone else. Don't talk to me. I'm tired of being support for stuff I don't know anything about. Okay, so it shows nothing of being downloaded right now. search. Oh, wait. DJI Fly. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's still downloading. It's almost halfway through. This thing has been going for a half hour. This thing has been going for 45 minutes. I had a weird glitch with the iPad a few weeks ago on my phone. Always says, oh, that's it. It was CPU overload. Thanks, Elshmigid. And like I said, that was a scary thing to see. Actually, okay, there was a timeline on that. So I took off. The drone took off. It's hovering 6 feet above, 2 meters above the ground. And I always do a little test, especially at night, just to make sure I can turn, check the camera, make sure the lighting is good as it's going to look. And while I was doing that, I got a warning that said CPU overload. And I said, And I looked and it said it was the iPad CPU overload. So that's good to know, because if it happened to you, that means this Fly app is becoming a burden, too much so for the processor on these iPads, unless maybe you have the newest one. I don't know. But see, that is also why I'm upgrading the app right now, because I'm hoping that takes care of that situation, because, they always say bug fixes. Well, that could be one of the bug fixes. I don't know. But I know one thing, if that thing continues to get that CPU overload error message, I'm not going to be using that iPad for much of anything. Like I said, though, I had to RTH 200 meters out over the water. I was only 30 meters high, and it was completely dark. So I said, oh, God, I hope this works. I knew there was nothing out there for it to run into, but it was still kind of one of those spooky, scary moments. It's like, can't see anything in the camera of the drone because the iPad froze up. So I'm just waiting to hear it. And when it got near to me, within, I'd say, 50 feet, I heard it. And then all of a sudden, everything unfroze, and I could see on my telemetry, the picture was still frozen, but it said I was 50 feet away, 347 feet up, which is my RTH return altitude, which translates into about 30. No, I'm always trying to go feet to meters. It's 3 meters to every feet, so it was about 115 meters high. But I heard it, so it was good. All part of the pre-flight check. There's something really wrong with Flap and Apple's devices recently. It's good to know, Elshmigid, it really is. Because after this update, then I'm taking this puppy outside, and I've got the Mavic Air 2 and the Air 2S. I'm going to put them both up and with the iPad and see if that happens again, because I know within minutes I had that warning. Now, here's the funny thing. When that warning came up, I just, CPU overload, but everything was working. Everything looked fine initially. Dismissed the warning. I sent the drone out to take some night shots of this amusement park down by the ocean, and everything was going good. But like I said, I said, okay, I want a long shot. So I sent it out a good ways away, about 300 feet, which is, or more than 300 feet. It was like 400 or 500 feet, which is around 200 meters. And it was only 100 feet off the water. And that's when it said CPU overload once again, and everything froze. Force close other apps, clear the RAM. Here's the thing about that, Elshmigid. On my iPad, I dedicate this to nothing but drones. I don't have anything on there that's not drone related. I mean, UAV forecast is on there, but things like Facebook, YouTube, email, had it on there for a while, took it all off. I said, I got it on everything else. I don't need it there. I'm never going to use it there. So I took it all off. So it should not have been anything running in the background, but with Apple, you never know. Because one thing I've always said about Apple versus Samsung, like Microsoft, is kind of a logical base. Apple is magic. That's how Steve Jobs always promoted Apple. Magic. Yeah, until magic doesn't work. And it's not so magic. But no, I'm just killing time doing this firmware update thing. This is ridiculous. Now I'm going almost an hour on this because this one's been going the longest. I'm still only at 38%. We could be here for days. Clear the RAM, do a full reboot, and it still comes up CPU overload. So yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. And I was thinking it was a false warning too. But here's the kicker, Elshmeged. Last September, I got that warning on this iPad, and back then, what was I flying? I was flying the Autel Evo. Hey, Johnny. I was flying the Autel Evo and mostly the Air DJI Mavic Air 2, and I got that CPU overload warning, and I said, you can't be too dependent on one device, so I went out and bought the Triple Tech because it has a powerful CPU, it has 1200 nits, whatever the hell it's supposed to have, and since they worked out the bugs, that has been my go-to. That thing is awesome. But like I said, you can't use the Triple Tech at night. That's why I was using this, because it adjusts for night light and everything. Because you use that Triple Tech at night, you're looking down at your device and you look up, you can't see a thing. Johnny Drone Flyer, man, how's it going, man? I caught part of your show last night. It was pretty good. Nice to see Kelly Shores on there. MGE, small town flyer. Hey, bud. Let me go ahead and make you a moderator. I know I just subbed you yesterday. There we go. And I know this is kind of impromptu, but I was watching, and he's probably still on. We Talked UAV, that guy there. And he's pretty entertaining, actually. I've never sat down and watched one of his live streams. And I've actually was watching him for a good hour while I was doing this. Okay, aircraft connection required. Son of a gun. Okay, aircraft connection required. We're gonna do this. Got my stuff everywhere but where I need it. Sorry about that. By the way, I've never done one of these live streams on YouTube like this because I'm pretty much on my own. Now on StreamYard, you can have people pop into the channel. I need some place here. I need some space for my stuff. You can have people pop into the channel and keep you company, but I never did a live stream on YouTube. Let me try it once. So your selected delivery location is beyond seller's shipping coverage at this time. I know he ships to Canada. And by the way, Triple Tech is still a pretty small outfit, so it doesn't surprise me about what you're telling me, Elshmighead. I mean, from the trouble I had way back in November, I found out later on I was actually talking to the CEO. Not that that counts for anything. But yeah, you put out a new product and make a video that doesn't give it high marks, that'll get you noticed. Okay. Okay, so where's the update? Oh, there we go. No, unable to. I don't want to fly. Oh, here it is. Install. 40%. 40%. Yeah, this better go quick. That battery's only going to last about 30 or 40 minutes sitting here doing nothing. Tim Jackson, how's it going, bud? Morning. Damn it. Just hard to wrap my head around morning over there, man. And again, let me see. What time of the morning is it, Tim? Like 6? Hey, Ellis Bighead, thanks for coming in, bud. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's kind of informal. I'm not expecting too much going on here. Oh, this thing is moving pretty quick now. It's at 51%, so that's good. But like I said, I've got 3 devices to update. Actually, I started on 4. I've got a Samsung Tab A that I bought way back when I had my DJI Spark back in the day, and I used it to fly with. And went to go install the DJI Fly app, and it flat out said cannot install on this device. So 5 a.m. I guess you're going to work today, Tim, because that's no reason to get up at 5 a.m. unless you're getting paid for it. 70%. We are moving along now here. Good. Yeah, it's another thing too. It's been later, Elschmighead. Ah, I see. Okay, Tim. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's been raining here now for today's Thursday, 7 days straight, in one form or another. But it's been driving me crazy, man, because it sucks having a new drone and you've only taken it out just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times because the weather's just been terrible here. The days when it wasn't raining, I put some video up like on Facebook of some places that I've taken it to. I'm flying in like a 35-mile-an-hour wind over water. And that'll puck you up a little bit. That'll make you a little nervous. Yeah, I know. I hear you. And in Houston, like I said, it's flatter than a pancake, man. When they start talking 3 to 9 inches of rain, which is what they were doing a week ago, it's like, oh man, here we go again. But it's 96%. This is almost done. Good deal. I better get the iPad ready. Hey, Chris, how's it going, bud? Just so you know, I'm an informal one today. I'm trying to update firmware for the Fly app on all my devices, and yeah, this is a little time consuming. I've been at this now for almost 2 hours total. I thought, oh, this should be easy. No. Of course, I started on that Samsung Tab A. Yeah, I wasted an hour's time on that, and then it told me it could not install it because it's an older device. Where'd my download go? Will that update help with the range? I seriously doubt it, Chris. And that's another thing too. I know in that video that I made when I first got the Air 2S that I talked about it having range problems, and just for hey AZ Drone, just for grins and giggles, I went ahead and recreated that same flight, and it was just as bad. It just 2,000 feet away, video breakup, and I said, I'm just going to keep pushing it. So it made it 3,000 feet out, which is about 1,000 feet, and then all signal lost. No signal lost. So on RTH, it's going to, I had it it was 3,000 feet out, 165 feet in the air. RTH put it to 347. I got my signal back. But by then it's like, well, to me, it failed the test. I'm flying over a heavily urban area. There's a lot of houses, lots of Wi-Fi. I said, I still had 70% battery. I said, I'm going to take it away from the subdivision and fly over the park that I walk in every morning, because that park kind of edges those subdivisions on one side and a very clear area on the other. So I did that. I got that puppy a mile away, and it still had great signal. So the thing that I'm getting out of this is, yeah, you can get great range out of it, but if it's still in a high Wi-Fi area, no, it's just not that good. I mean, it's not any better than my Mavic 2 Zoom or my Mavic Air 2. Okay. Installed. One down. Firmware installed. We are ready to go. Fly, just let me make sure I'm. Yep. Ambient light too low. So here we are. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's me. What do you think? The drone is like right here. Should we do a takeoff from right here? I mean, I'm like 2 inches from my monitor screen. Would this be exciting or not? It could hit the mic. It could hit the monitor. It could hit me. Yeah. Yes, there was a recent update for the Mavic 2 Zoom, Tim, and I updated. And that's the one I found out about it from Jim Boyd on Above and Beyond Drones on his live stream, because he was having hell getting to do it. And I didn't even know there was one, because he was trying to update his Mavic 2 Pro. And the next day I went up and said, I hooked it up to DJI Assistant, and it showed a new update. And I went ahead and updated it, and there was no problems. The trouble is, I can't tell what the update really did. Said minor bug fixes, which O3 shouldn't be worse though. Yeah. Now it said minor bug fixes, so I'm not real sure what they were doing with that. Let me kill that. And disconnect this. I'm going to try my iPad now. Man, 11 watching. This is more than I had on my last live stream. What the heck? I'm looking at you. So do I think the Mavic 3 is coming to? I think it'll be out before the end of this year, to tell you the truth. DJI, they're kicking out a drone every other month. I don't know if y'all saw the new Tello on steroids, I call it. Did you see that one? $239. Hey, Welsh Rob, how's it going, bud? Yeah, the new Tello, built for educational purposes, whatever that means. I better leave this up. I need to find this update though. Okay, so how did I get it before? Do a search. Done. Here we go. So most of y'all are coming in now, but El Schmighead was on earlier. I saw that, Johnny, about unboxing the Femi. I'm giving that thing a look. What I'm waiting for, though, is to see the reviews on the software, because to me, that's what killed the Femi before that. Because I always watched Ron Brown and a couple of other people. I think Marcus had a Femi too, and they said that was the biggest drawback to that bird, was the software was just pretty inconsistent or not reliable. So, okay, how come this thing is not doing anything? Huh. Let's hook it up and see if it says something about an update. I have to shut the door. My wife hears me talking a lot to myself up here. She's going to have me hauled off. Who was I watching? Oh, Mike from Drone Fly Zone was flying the Air 2S. He did a pretty long review on it. One of the first things I noticed, though, he was flying it with a iPad, just like I'm about to do. I'm not flying it, but I'm going to turn it on. And he was using one of the flat adapters that makes the iPad sit up here. The only problem I have with that is that the iPad covers your thumbs here, which you get into a situation, you want to know, it just doesn't feel, if I bump up and feel that iPad when I go up like that, that's kind of distracting. So I'm not sure if I'd like that. I like these things. They're 3D printer cut. So let's see if this thing gives me any trouble. Because it should say, in fact, no joke, I am going to set this thing on the floor when I'm done updating this and turn on the rotors, because this iPad and El Schmighead was getting the same thing. This iPad failed me pretty bad last week. 300 feet out over the ocean, 100 feet off the water at night. Get a warning from the iPad, CPU overload. Yeah. Nothing worked. No picture froze, which, I mean, that's not the end of the world, right? Telemetry froze. I couldn't tell which way that bird was turned. Nothing. Couldn't see anything. Nothing moved. Had to hit RTH. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I'm updating this, because it's starting to bother me now, though, because it's not saying anything. Let's see what happens when I turn the bird on. Hey, Mike. Thomas Ariel. Hey, bud. That's one good thing about doing a live stream this way rather than StreamYard, is I only have to pay attention to the chats with y'all. I don't have panel guests or anybody else. Of course, it's all on me, and I didn't bring anything to drink, and my throat's getting dry. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything to do with the update for iOS. It's just not. Bite me.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
You know, how many times do y'all have to say this? See that? Check propeller installation. So I'm going to spin these props up.
Take off.
Because actually, the last time I flew this, the minute I turned, when I turned the props on, like I was telling El Schmighead, within a couple seconds, it came up with that CPU overload message. I'm going to give it about a minute here and see if it says anything. Everything otherwise looks fine. Oh, now this is different. What is this? Ah. So, what is this here? Nope. Why are my front sensors off, but the back ones are not? What up, that people? The only thing I saw with this update that it was going to give you more sensor information somewhere. I'm not seeing it though. I'm not sure. I guess I should have looked at that with my my Android device when I had it up. That's bizarre. I'm not, that's odd. Why are the front sensors off? I am your normal. I'm on the safety tab. Where is this? No, where are the sensors? Obstacle avoidance. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, wait, let's try this. Turn them off. Yeah, now it's showing them both off. So why? Unless, okay, I think I have an idea why this is doing this. It could be because there's no way I'm even going to try to show you all this because it's too small. But like I said, it's showing me forward sensor unavailable, vision sensors. So let me see. Turn the blades off. I don't want to pick this thing up with the blades going. That would make a really not so nice thing. What I'm going to try to do is back away to where the forward sensors don't have anything. As soon as I point it in a direction where there's nothing. But that's kind of weird. Now, the one thing else Schmickhead was saying about this update on iOS was that it doesn't allow you to charge your phone. Hey, Crystal, haven't seen you in here in a while. See you on Instagram all the time. But yeah, he was saying that it doesn't allow your phone to charge. I never like charging my phone on any of this stuff anyway. I don't need this to run down any sooner than it does. So does anybody know where app information can be found on iOS? Because I want to make sure I got this thing. Oh, it's 1.4.2. Lost 30 pounds. Wow. If I lost 30 pounds, I might actually be able to fit into my pants without a belt. Congratulations, Crystal. I know that's an achievement. Yeah, when about 7 years ago, doctor said I had type 2 diabetes, and he put the fear of God in me, and I went on a diet, and I went from 274 down to 242, I think, at my lowest. But yeah, I got tired of eating like that. Which iPad do you have? I have the 9.75 inch, and it's, how old is this thing? 2 years old. So it's fairly new. So let me see. Settings. About. I've got the software version 14.4.2. Mike. iPad 6th generation. Okay. I think that's what you're looking for. Ooh. Ooh. By the way, this thing is Wi-Fi only, this iPad. So whenever I'm in the field, I have to use this, turn on the mobile hotspot to get any kind of telemetry and maps. And it's been working well for years, but the bad thing about this iPad is when you are taking lots of pictures, especially raw pictures and 4K video, it's gonna overload this iPad quick at 32 gigabytes because that's all it has on it, and 1/3 of that is built in for the system. So you're only playing with 19, 20 gigabytes. Yeah, you can fill that up in about 20 minutes, and it'll upload to iCloud eventually on Wi-Fi when it's home. But yeah, out in the field, that was another reason why I went to Triple Tech, because I did get I do have a data plan for it. So, okay, let me go to the app. Let me see if we got. I used to have the same problem with my Mini 4. Yeah, and see, just for Mike, just for grins and giggles, my wife has a Mini, and I tried hers, and the processor on that must be really less than this one, because yeah, I've only put the drone up in the backyard, 300 or 400 feet, moved it a little distance away, and I was already getting video breakup, and I said, yeah, no, I better not try it. Let's see. Apps. Go Fly. Why does this stuff never tell you what version you're on? It needs an boot section. Blind Neil, how's it going, Neil? Thomas, you're just now getting your first shot? Jeez, bud. Chris Hope. Chris, are you rained in too, buddy? I don't think it's raining up there today. We got a little bit down here today, but not so bad. Okay. So for now, because I don't know any better, but I think it worked, I'm going to put the iOS aside to put the Apple aside and work on the Triple Tech. Because that puppy is a problem. You know how you used to go to the, on Apple, you go to the App Store. On Samsung, you go to the Play Store to get whatever version of whatever app you were using. And then DJI said, we're not going to pay either one of y'all the money you want. We're just going to have them download it from our site, which they've done. Well, and for general purposes, like with the iPad, with my phone, works just fine. Triple Tech, because it is not an approved device. This is Android version 8, so it's a little old, but not that old. The only way to get that downloaded, that update to the firmware, to go to Triple Tech's website and hope like hell they've already got it on their website. And I downloaded the APK file to my computer from that site. And I said, well, I should just be able to transfer it over to my Triple Tech. Yeah, no, the computer doesn't see the Triple Tech in a way they can do a transfer like that. So you're stuck pretty much dealing with downloading over Wi-Fi like everything else, which I'm not going to put y'all through that, because that's going to be, I'm not sitting here until 5 o'clock. 45 is so I got it early. Still though, Thomas, I would think, I just don't understand though why they don't have it rolled out even more, because Texas is pretty much open. Texas has not had a COVID death now in a week or more. There are no more new cases being reported, which is incredible. So basically, it's almost like normal. I've been into several stores now without a mask. Nobody challenges. Nobody says nothing. For one thing, the governor said no more masks. They're not mandatory. But I mean, a private business can tell you to wear one if they want one, and some stores still do. They put it on the store window out front. But for the most part, it's been nice not having to wear that mask everywhere. San Antonio is still getting cases. Yeah, I'm talking about Harris County, by the way. I shouldn't have said Texas. Crystal, you're right. But yeah, there hasn't been a new case reported in Harris County in several days now, which that's amazing to me. Okay, let me see. I'm connected Wi-Fi. Good deal. I don't know. I need to change that. Let's see if y'all can see that. Probably change that screensaver. That Evo is no longer with us, but that's a good picture. I always like that picture. I took it with my Canon. Let me see. Does the TripleTech not have the option to connect by USB? It does. It does, Chris. And whenever I do that, it still acts funky because when you switch to USB, there's a setting in there to show either storage or device. It goes. You can choose between one of the two, and neither one of them work. So I just, the heck with it. If I could download it by Wi-Fi, I have to download by Wi-Fi. It's no biggie. So let me just get to where I need to be. Chrome. I just saw something. If I downloaded, no, that's right. I remember now. I tried that. What I was going to say is if I downloaded it straight from the DJI site to the TripleTech, and I did this last time in the last update only a few weeks ago, I hit install. It went through a process for like a half hour, 45 minutes, and it said not compatible with this device. And I said, son of a. So that's when I went to TripleTech site, and theirs worked. I don't know what they did to it, but it worked. Okay. And I guess I got to log in. Here we go. So are y'all bored yet? This is bizarre. 14 watching. I did a live stream Friday. I haven't done a live stream in a month. I did a live stream Friday. At any given time, I had maybe 9 people in there at one time. It was weird. Thank goodness Jim Boyd showed up, man. He was just me and him. I'll take that back. Carlos from Back from the Sky and Charlie Drone Psyche were flying drones in New York, and they tried to pop in, but their Wi-Fi connection in the field was not so great. Y'all can't see what I'm typing, can you? Good, so I'm putting in passwords here. Oh, we can see everything in your glasses. Oops. Now I can't remember the password. Gotten vaccinated, try it. Put a magnet on your arm. What? Crystal? What? What TV you got? Okay, Thomas, I'm glad you brought that FPV thing up. No, I'm not. Because I've banged my head against the wall so hard it's still not working right. I cannot get my transmitter to work right, no matter how many times I've tried that. So budget wise, I don't want to drop any more money just yet because, like I said, this drone, the Air 2S set me back a little bit. But in a month or two, I'm going to go ahead and get the FR Sky X Lite, I think it's called. That's the one Charlie Mafia Drone Psyche's using. It's easy. It's for beginners. So I think once I get that, I should have the problem fixed. I have yet to get my Tiny Hawk 2 in the air yet because of it. I've got one sitting here right on my desk. Have yet to be able to turn those motors on. Everything works. I can sync up. You can hear it whenever I hit a button, like on the transmit, it clicks. The beeper beeps. The motors will not arm. Period. Okay, gotta find this password. Hang on, people. So yeah, FPV's got me pretty frustrated at the moment. So I'm just stepping back from it. Also, I'm fixing to start a major project on this pretty soon. I don't know, y'all can't see that, but that's my train layout, part of it. All it is styrofoam. But that's been sitting there for way too long. My wife has been bugging me for years to do something with it. So I am going to go ahead and break most of it down, but I'm going to turn it into a shelf layout because I still want to be able to run my trains. In fact, if I do a shelf layout, I will probably actually have more room. I'm going to bring it all around the room, just at a higher angle above me. It'll run this way and through the bookshelf, and it'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, I've been in my head for the last few days working on that, and I never like to start anything until I've slept on it a few times. You know, gotta pardon me. I'm looking up my passwords here. And yes, I don't keep my core passwords written down, but for stuff like certain internet things, like, I don't know, YouTube, Triple Tech, Steam, I just write them down on the computer. They're handier. Triple Tech, there we go. Okay. One thing about my passwords, I can always tell when I made them because somewhere in that password is my age. What was I thinking when I did this? Capital T. Why didn't it take? How come it never takes the first time? Yeah, that one, no. By the way, just for grins and giggles, Chris, the file that I keep it under does not. I mean, even if you were looking for it, you would never think to find it what I've named it. And no, I'm not going to tell you the name. Thomas, you sound like my wife, man. She's got a piece of paper beside her chair downstairs. She uses an iPad. The piece of paper is literally sitting here. She can just reach over here. There's the pass. Brian, what's my password for? Don't know, hon. Okay. What'd you just put in there, Chris? Now I got to look at this. How to bind? I bet you I've seen it. Yep, I've seen this one. Yeah, I've seen that one, Chris. Binding is not the problem. I've bound it. I mean, I can turn it on right now and it's bound. Like I said, if you turn these things, do that on the transmitter, in beta flight, they all work. They work like a charm. The arm switch, no matter what button I've configured it to, because I've switched buttons. I think, well, maybe I've got a bad button because I did buy it used. No matter what button I use, it will not arm those motors. It's driving me nuts. So like I said, I'm just going to go to a simpler transmitter. I know I'm going to type this wrong in again. Come on. There we go. I'm in. Okay. Yeah. No, like I said, though, I appreciate that, Chris, but yeah, binding was never the issue. Um, one of the things that I did notice on the transmitter, y'all know that section, it's on in beta flight where uh, it's those four letters AERT, I think. Aileron elevation, roll, and how they get pitch out of a T is beyond me, but whatever. That was screwing me up because I was listening to Bardwell and he set his a certain way. So I said, I'm just going to go ahead and listen to Bardwell, and I set mine a certain way. And every time I set it his way, restart or save, restart, boom, comes right back to what it's set to, which was the other way, the old way, the one everybody else uses. So yeah, that was messing me up too. Sounds like software, no matter what you get, might have been the same issue, probably something small in beta flight. Yeah. But I still think, where is this? This thing right here, this is the transmitter I'm talking about, it's the Tyrannus. I still think, because I got it used and it came from Dovo, and God knows how many times he threw it on the ground in anger. There's just no telling. I'm just going to go get I think it's a $150 X-Lite, and it's simplified. Pitches E. Could be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, let me see support. I'm on 666. Triple Tech site. Okay. How did I find that? How did I do that before? Downloads. Look at that. Come on. Here are downloads available for your device. Come on. Okay, the TX16, I have looked at that, but to me, Thomas, that device looks as complicated and as bulky as this one. The form factor on the X-Lite is like, the game controllers, which I'm more familiar with those than I am with that. Wow, what have they done here? Oh, kiss my ass. Sorry, people. I'm on Triple Tech site, by the way. I know y'all can't even come close to seeing that because it's so damn bright. But yeah, today of all days, they want to update the firmware on this. Thank you very little. Okay, this is for serial numbers, blah, 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 through blah, 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 blah. I think those are the newer ones. 0043. 0043. So no, this is not for me. Okay, good. Man, that's all I need to deal with. March 19th. Oh, crap. This is from... No, wait a minute. No, I never did do this. Oh, man. This sucks. I sure as hell didn't want to do an update to this thing now because I know what kind of a nightmare was that last November when I did one. Okay, let's do this. Firmware. Tell you what, people, I need to open another tab because what I'm going to do is get these instructions downloaded to my computer. So when this goes south, I can at least look at the instructions on my computer and say, okay, I did that. Why didn't it work? Let's see. Oh, crap. It's giving me this, though, because it sees this device. It's not going to see the device on my computer. I don't think. Let me see. Click here to see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Yeah, I definitely need to upgrade this. It's going from Android version 8 to Android version 9. This is awesome. Oh, this is really good. This is a big update. Why? How could I miss this? Why didn't they tell me about it? Why did this open my Google Drive? Oh, it's their Google Drive. Triple tech. 8 GB. Oh, wait a minute though. Is this for the Pro or for my version? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, Chris. Yeah, see, the thing about the TX16, that was actually until Dobo threw that deal out on that Tyrannus because it was on like 120 bucks. That's the one I was going to get because everybody and his mother recommended it. But at the same time, here's the thing though. I will sit here, you know, y'all can see me. I will sit here for hours on the flight simulator and play with this thing, which it works fine on that. But one thing I've learned is when I'm sitting here, because for one thing, I have to sit up. My back starts to hurt after a bit. But I'm sitting there holding this thing, and after a while I'm realizing, if I'm in the field wearing these goggles, this is just because I can't see this. I'm not as comfortable with this as I am with like a game controller. A game controller I can move around on with my eyes closed. And that's another thing I'm thinking about, that XT Lite thing. It might be better for me for that too. Plus, it's an easier setup. Yep. Oh man, this is all. It's going to download. It's going to change my Android number. Good one. Okay. Let me just do all this here. There we go. Download that. Sorry, people. I did not want to get off on this tangent, but I'm going to have to do. In fact, I'm going to have to do this before I do the update for the Fly app now. Son of a gun. Thing about it, this has been out since March 19th. I've used this thing more times than I can count since then. Why it should be such an issue. Triple tech, that is. TID for throttle. I'm just going through y'all's suggestions. If you spend on, I'll just get to read them. Read that. T is for throttle. Yeah, throttle. That makes sense. But it's AERT. Those are the. In fact, I think that was a sequence that originally came out in. And Bardwell does it different. It's REAT. REAT. Or yeah. So I tried to follow his, and every time I put REAT in Betaflight, do a save and restart, it go back to the original. Jumper got a gamepad style controller. It might be better than, yeah. Okay, here's the thing, Thomas, on that one. I've got to make sure it has D8. That's the only other thing too, because a lot of the new ones, I had to buy a module for that Tyrannus just to get D8 so I can get that, just so I can get that Tiny Hawk to respond even, because it would not take D16. They say you can do it. I was never able to get it to do. As soon as I popped that $20 module in there, it worked like a charm, except from arming the motors. So, but yeah, I'll give that a look. Let me write that down. That sounds like something to look at. 80 bucks is better than 150. Too much shit on my desk. So that's the jumper. In fact, I think, Thomas, I think I did see that. And because it was, I think here it was only like 65 or 70 bucks. I said, oh, that thing's got to be a piece of shit. I'll give it a look now. FR Sky. Excellent. Yeah, okay. Definitely give it a look, Thomas. Yeah, because it's pissing me off, man. there's Charlie Mafia up there in New York, drone psyche dude. And he started out, it was only a year ago, he got a mini, well, maybe a year and a half, he got his first Mini 1, DJI Mini 1. And I don't know where, he's got enough money to buy every drone out there, I think. But he's gotten into FPV, and man, I know it comes from youth and gaming and all that other good stuff. Man, that dude just picked up FPV quick. I'm impressed. Windows 10 drivers. I guess I need those. Wait a minute. I don't have Windows 10 on. Oh, yeah, okay. It's downloading it. I'll just do what it says and deal with it later. Yeah, see, Chris AETR is what it was. That looked like the default in Betaflight for just about anything I ever hooked up to Betaflight, which isn't much. I've only got the Tiny Hawk 1 and Tiny Hawk 2. But it always defaulted at AETR. But Bardwell, because I was following the man, said he uses REAT. I'll follow the man. Did I ask Dopa for advice? No. The thing about Ken is he, for one thing, he's busy enough, and I'm sure he would answer me. Hell, he comes into my streams. It's not a big deal. I'm a hardhead dude. I love to puzzle things out. And if the trouble is when you work with devices like this or any kind of computer device, there's one thing you should always have is two of whatever. Because if one is not working right, the second one is going to tell you it's not working right. So I've only got one transmitter. Unless you want to count the one from that one that came with the Tiny Hawk 1, which still works. I can still run the Tiny Hawk 1, but it's been so windy here the last few months. It's, and I dare not run it inside because we have cats and dogs now who know how to hunt that thing down with precision. Flash tool, I guess that's next. There we go. Yeah, this is turning out just like back in November when I had to do the initial upgrade on that. Man, it's very cool. I'm really glad they're upgrading to Android 9 because it shows me that they're going to at least keep up with the product for a little while. TEAR, so I changed it. And like I said, Chris, on that part right there, I didn't even look at that for days. I was just so into the switches part, trying to figure out why it was or wasn't working. And then it was Bardwell who said, because he put up a video specifically said why your motors won't arm on the Tiny Hawk 2 or Tiny Hawk. And I went to it and it said it had to do with what you're referencing here, the TEAR thing, and it not being in sync. Sam's Watch FPV is my second channel. That's good to know. Put that up there. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I got a bunch of tabs going on here. Gotcha. Okay. Come on. There we go. That's downloaded. Here's the biggie. This is the actual firmware. This should take a little while. And this is just for this device. Good Lord. Okay, that's the directions. Yeah, can y'all see? This isn't bright or nothing. In fact, that's just, I'm blind to myself. Hang on, I got to get to the settings. This is just too much. Auto. Yeah, Much better. Now, see, it does have the adaptive brightness thing, but it's all relative because at night, even this is way too bright. But that's better now because I had it at 87% and I was just being blinded here. Okay, now can I get back to where it was? Here we go. Settings, firmware. And see, I hate to, it's like the difference between Chevy and Ford and apples and oranges, or in this case, Apple and Android. I can go back most times in an Android device and find whatever it was that I was working on. In Apple, you can double click the desktop thing, but it only brings up whatever apps you were using. It doesn't bring up the different tabs that you may have had open in Safari. It'll bring up Safari. Then you got to delve into Safari and find out which tabs you were on. Yeah. Swallow your pride, ask Dobo. It might say, it might. Yeah, and there's the thing too. Ken, I know your temper. Have you ever thrown this thing at something? Jim's droning. Hey, bud. The thing about it is what's frustrating though, Thomas, is like I said, everything on that transmitter works that I can tell. Okay, let's do a step by step. Hey, Rodney Bell. So if you do an initial setup, you have to go to this and set up your whatever drone you're going to fly. You type it all in, give it a name, assign your sticks, all that good stuff. Once that's done, I understand, then you go into beta flight and you do the same thing. You just repeat what you set up in the transmitter. Works fine. Everything works fine. I can get it to beep. Anytime I flip a switch, the light on the drone clicks. I can hear it click. It will not arm the freaking motors. Yeah, double tap on the home button on the iPad to see the recent apps. Like I said, you can do that. And but like I said, certain things though, like in Safari, say I've got 8 tabs open right now on Windows. And if I had 8 tabs open on here, all I got to do is scroll down on this or any Android device and I can find where I was. With Apple, you have to go find Safari, the one you had in all the apps that were open, tap on it, and then start going through all its tabs. It's just more frustrating. It's just like, can't they make this easier? Still remember when Steve Jobs promoted, it's so intuitive. A kindergartner could use it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I flunked kindergarten, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Hey, yeah, that's true, Rodney. I know you're on there every Saturday morning and Sunday morning, but I don't see as much on those occasionals like this. And I'm not on StreamYard, so I just going to have you pop in because it's always good to chatting with you, bud. Shit, I've been up here for over an hour, man. This is ridiculous. Well, I got to do this update on the Triple Tech on the whole device first. And I remember what kind of a nightmare that is. And really, see this here? I'm going to lose a lot of this because I'm going to be like this by about 5 o'clock tonight. So I don't want witnesses. It's so sad to see a grown man break down. And I mean, everybody likes a good train wreck. I'm as good as the next one, but not when I'm the train. Thank you for coming in anyway, Rodney. I appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because, I'm going to go ahead and get into the meat of this. This ought to be fun. Yeah, what started out as just a DJI Fly app update turns into an all-day excursion. God, I love computers, don't you? And don't tell me, oh, it's not computers. Yeah, it is. Drones work off of apps, which work off computers, which work off mini computers. Yeah, all computers. Anyway, people, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one because, like I said, I'm gonna get into this, and it was fun. I don't know if I'll ever do this again because I do like having some company sometimes in the panel, and I've never actually. In fact, I'm sitting there wondering, well, how do I end this thing? Because I don't see any buttons, at least none that I'm used to seeing. Yeah, I hear you, Jim. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all have a good evening and a good afternoon. And if you're in Australia, thank God it's Friday. Y'all take it easy. Bye.